Hey, so we're downtown Vancouver at Golden Age Collectables, and we're talking with KURTIS WEIBE about the release of his new title, Bounty, from Dark Horse Comics. KURTIS, what is Bounty?
Bounty is a futuristic, kind of a bubblegum cyberpunk story about two sisters that are bounty hunters in the future. Cyberpunk is generally a genre that is grim and dour, and I wanted to make it like... So I think it was Dark Horse that like kind of helped me come up with this idea called Rainbow Brute, which is terrible and great at the same time. Anyway, so yeah, it's a kind of a little bit of a twist on cyberpunk.
Rainbow Brute?
Yeah.
What is Rainbow Brute, man?
Well, Rainbow Bright, but it's Brute.
Oh, okay, I see where you're going there.
Vague reference.
All right. And now, previously, you've done Rat Queens, which is through Image. Doing this through Dark Horse. What was the advantage of going through Dark Horse this time?
It's just a little bit different. Dark Horse. We've been actually working on Bounty behind the scenes for about, I think we started last September. So we have a lot of it done already. Like I actually just yesterday finished issue 7 script. So 1 came out last week. So we're all pretty. Mindy's working on issue 6 right now. So we're really far ahead. And just working with Dark Horse, they kind of facilitate that for you so that you can work on it kind of quietly behind the scenes. They give you enough time to develop it. And they take care a lot of the kind of smaller details. With Image, there's a lot more freedom, but you also have a lot more responsibility for like your own marketing, your own design, all that kind of stuff. And Dark Horse kind of helps you out with that sort of thing. So for me, I write the script and then goes off to Mindy, and there's maybe some touch-ups here and there, but it's a lot easier for me to get the series done because there's a lot less on my shoulders to do. So it's just they're just very different kind of ways of operating. Each have their advantages for sure. And Dark Horse was someone they'd reached out to me a few years ago when Rat Queens came out, asking if I had anything for them, and I didn't have anything that I felt right. And then last year, me and Mindy put that pitch together and sent it to them, and they picked it up right away. So yeah.
Cool. Mindy Lee's art is awesome. How did the two of you connect?
I actually met her on not Instagram, on Tumblr. Someone had reblogged some of her stuff showed up in my feed, and I was like, it was this sequence in Blade Runner where the woman's running through the glass and being shot at. She had done a piece of that, and it was just like very 40s style noir, almost had like a Darwin Cook feel to it. I was like, this is gorgeous. So I watched her for a while, and then after 3 or 4 more pieces, I'm like, I gotta work with this person. So she didn't really have any comic credits to her name. She'd done an anthology, and so I didn't know if she had a lot of experience, but she works in animation, so I just reached out to her. I sent her this concept, and the bones were there, and pretty much everything you see, like all the designs, the armor, the world, that's all from her mind. Like, she's just a great designer, and she does great characters. So yeah, I just kind of found her randomly on the internet, and we started working together. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that the first thing you saw her do was Blade Runner, because I feel like you can still see that influence in Bounty.
Yeah, she's really good at sci-fi stuff, and she does amazing costume design. Like, she just and she does it all. Actually, she does mostly digital work, but when she does just practice sketching and stuff, she does it all in a notebook, and she fully colors it. Like, I think it's even pencil crayon. She just does these beautiful character and clothing designs, and she does like so many of them. She's so talented. So yeah, it's been really interesting. Even in the series, like, to see her, she gets stronger with the kind of the narrative stuff has been really interesting to watch. And it's interesting because it's very different working with different artists. Sometimes you're more hands-on, you work more directly together. With Mindy, I write the script, and because she's so good at kind of interpreting my mind, I just send it off, and then it comes back, and I'm always just surprised with what she comes up with. Like, the kernel is in there, and I try to write it as best as I can, but she just totally takes it and makes it something way better than I could possibly imagine. So
now, Bounty is a little more all ages friendly.
Yeah.
Like Rat Queens is obviously is more an adult title, and is fantasy. So now you're doing a more all ages sci-fi thing.
Yeah. One of the things that with Rat Queens, I got a lot of people at conventions and just on Twitter and stuff saying that they really loved the message of Rat Queens, and they wanted to share it with their daughter or their niece or whatever, but they couldn't because of the content. And that always stuck with me, that the message was really important to people, but it was limited to who could read it. And so I've always wanted to do a little bit more I guess, age appropriate, like, young teens that could read this book, and there'd not be a content in there that their parents would be concerned about. So it's still got that kind of same punk rock attitude, but it's also more accessible. There is swears, but they're kind of bleeped out, and that kind of thing, and that's okay. Like, it's actually a test for me as a writer, because it's a lot easier to hit a joke when you can swear and be really inventive with your swearing. When you can't do that, you have to be a little bit more creative, I think. So it's been an interesting exercise, and but yeah, I'm glad we kind of went that route. We originally were going to make it more of an adult story, but just felt like this is the opportunity to do something that younger people could read.
So you say you're working on issue 7 right now.
Yeah.
Like, how far ahead are you looking for Bounty?
Well, I've got 10 issues plotted, so it's for now that's where we're looking to go, is a 10 issue. I think they call it a maxi series now, but depending on how it does, we may have more in the future. But yeah, it's 2 divided arcs, 5 issues each. The second arc kind of turns things on its head and takes the story in a very different direction, which I don't think people are going to see coming, which is going to be fun. So yeah, you'll expect one thing in the first arc, and something new and interesting happens in the second. So
that sounds like the way it should be done.
They're tied together, but yeah, different enough. Yeah.
Awesome. So the book is Bounty, written by KURTIS WEIBE, drawn by Mindy Lee, being published by Dark Horse Comics. We're here at Golden Age Collectables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go sign some copies, I guess.
Let's do it, man.